Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Sorry, Mark just said you're up and running, and I'm like, well, I'm not, because I'm staring at a blank screen. Good morning, Sinead. You are actually there before we were even live this morning, so props to you. That's real loyalty. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope that you got a bit of a break or a different day yesterday. There was certainly a lot of amazing music available last night. So even if you weren't able to physically go to it, I hope that you did do something musical last night. We certainly did.
We did. We were hopping from one show to the other.
Yeah, there was so much on offer. It was amazing, and it was a little bit like being at a festival. So that was lovely.
It was a lot like that. I mean, there was so many bands on, and yeah, it was.
We had different streams in different rooms at the house.
Also, and also as it's gone on, I think people are really starting to get inventive and imaginative ideas. So.
Yes, that's the thing. I think the production values are definitely rising, which is obviously lovely to see.
Billy Bragg's stream last night for the 11mm was amazing. It was amazing because the number of people who donated and joined. I think it was 5,500.
5,500 people. Billy was wonderful as ever and kept saying "Save our venues," kept saying "Music Venue Trust," and was quite wonderful.
It was really good. And then the 545 festival was amazing.
On the subject of which, we have
our special guest for the morning.
We're very excited.
Morning, Sinead and Luke and Mark and Jason and Jacqueline and Tony and
enough of that. Can we
introduce our
guest?
Drum roll. This morning's guest is
Rou Reynolds.
Good morning, Rou.
Hello.
Look at me pretending to be all sprightly.
when you are actually confess.
I'm hanging a bit. I must say.
So, explain, Rou, what we're Enter Shikari up to this weekend.
So we played 545 Fest, which was an online festival organised by a few of our friends, mainly by Tom Pullen, who's our on-tour photographer. And it was, I think there was about 7 bands on over 2 days playing, and then it was basically all for NHS charities together. So it was like a fundraiser, and they did loads of like merch and stuff and raffles and things. And it was a wonderful few days.
And we were just saying about the production values, that some of the production values, the ideas that people had in that 2-day lineup were really good. You know, and just before you came on air, we were talking in the back, and I was saying that actually the Shikari set was genuinely pretty exciting, and like, I mean, it had a better feel to it. Do you know what I mean?
And Tony's just said the other thing we said. Yes, you were also guest trumpet on Don Brocco the night before.
Your guest trumpet on Don Brocco set the night before was also a highlight, but we were just saying, like, how are you doing it now? Or like, it's a pre-record, but how's it done?
Yeah, so I got the sort of worst job, which was starting it. So I was singing just to instrumentals of the actual tracks, and then would basically just pass it around, and the guys would layer their stuff over it. So we were playing, we recorded it live, but it was all obviously pre-recorded. I mean, you could tell because the video was sunny, but we were on at 9 p.m. So, but yeah, it's obviously, you know, not ideal, but you sort of just make of it what you can.
Yeah, and I guess you're all spread out in various places. Yeah,
well, the rest of the lads are all in St Albans, and I'm in North London, so not too far away. But yeah, this is definitely the longest I haven't seen them since we formed the band. I think since like 2005, probably. So,
I was going to ask you about that, because a lot of the guests that we've had on for Elevenses are front people that, you know, yes, they have a band, but it is, you know, like Frank Turner or, you know, Billy Bragg, or people that play, but they have a band they travel with. Whereas Enter Shikari are 4 people. Really, definitely a unit of 4. I mean, when you came to an event for us last year, all 4 of you came, and, you know, it's really identifiable that you are a gang. And so I'm wondering, is that the hardest thing about this, the fact that you can't physically interact and you can only do the distance thing?
Yeah, especially when we released the album, like, what was it, 4 weeks ago now? Like, you know, we put just so much sweat and toil and tears went into that album. It was our lives for the whole of 2019, basically. So then to release it, but not being able to like celebrate that together and with our whole team as well and management and everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was certainly quite frustrating, but you know, we've had a few Zoom sort of cheersings and hangouts and stuff. But yeah, it's very, very peculiar.
Well, I mean, the album's a masterpiece, and I don't mind saying that in front of you.
Thank you very much.
Well, it just is. I mean, it's just. I mean, you know, the whole of our family are massive fans anyway, so we tend to follow you around and turn up in the strangest places when we're not expected.
Oh yeah.
but also just what I mean, the range of that album. I mean, some of the stuff I don't even know where it's come from.
What, the properly orchestral stuff?
The properly orchestral stuff. I mean, where are we going? Where are we going with the Enter Shikari directions?
Oh, we never know. I think we're just lucky that we had, myself especially, had such a plethora of different influences from a very young age, and so for me, making music that's very broad sort of comes just quite naturally. I don't really have, it's not like I even think, oh, what can we do on this album, what can we add, you know, let's try and add samba on this, or you know, like it's not like that. It's more of like, okay, what emotions do we want to convey, and then work out, well, what's the best palette, what's the best textures, instruments to use that are going to convey those emotions best. And yeah, this album, I wanted to, because I was producing it as well, I wanted to really branch out with the instrumentation, and yeah, there's a lot more orchestral, kind of stuff going on, which was so much fun to record.
And are you like a trained trumpet player, or?
It's the only instrument I ever had lessons with. I mean, I only got to, I think I was like grade 5 or 6, but I stopped that when I was like 12. So I was like, no, trumpet's not cool anymore. I want to play the guitar. Which I will never forgive myself for, because I'm constantly struggling to sort of relearn the trumpet, and sort of, you know, for not playing it for so many years, I sort of lost the lips for it. But I still thoroughly enjoy whipping the old trumpet out every now and then.
And is somebody in the band classically trained? I mean, who's writing the scores when you get to the point where you're working with an orchestra, or is it? So I did music at uni. Well, I only did 1 year before the band took off, basically, and I had to make the choice of uni or band. But so I do have a bit of experience in that. But I mean, like, I can write for brass and I can just about write for strings, but notating a whole orchestra is a whole different ballgame. So I was very lucky to have George Fenton come in and help me out. He's one of my favorite sort of modern composers anyway, really. So just having him on board to kind of guide me through the whole process, and he did all the arranging. So it was a lifesaver to have him on. Yeah, the bit I missed about the release of the Shikari album last time, when you released the Spark, it came out on a day I was driving in an open top car around Nashville.
Nice.
Wow.
And we got 5 of us in the car and drove around playing Live Outside as loud as the hired car speakers would go, while a bunch of people in cowboy hats all stared at us.
Oh, that's brilliant.
This week it was more like a walk. Well, this time around it was more like a walk around the terrace repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yelling.
Yeah, that's been my experience. Yeah.
So do you have a song or two for us this morning?
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, let me make all the excuses. You know, I'm hungover. My hay fever's quite bad today.
That's terrible today, isn't it? Yeah, I've got it really bad today.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'll be sniveling my way through this. But yeah, no, I was gonna do. Well, I don't know really. I was gonna start off with our current single, which is "Satellites" off the new album.
Great.
That sounds awesome.
We'll leave you to play Satellites. We'll come back and chat in a sec.
All right. I wish I was a comet burning up into the night. I wish I was a comet but I'm just a satellite. I don't like the limelight, so we don't hold hands in daylight. I still drag the closet, all my limbs they ache inside. And surely all my family and my friends, my God and my ends, I cannot all be wrong. So I play along. We refrain from touch, we are satellites, da 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 da, in a cosmic dance amongst the northern lights, da 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 da. But we orbit fast, and I wish we could collide. I'm sick of the ceiling, I'm sick of the feeling, I no longer want to hide. Cause I think it could be love, cause I think it could be love. Can't show you enough. I wanna burn through the atmosphere, so like a meteor tonight. All the gravity between us, someone bring me down to land and write a prayer to Venus. What is life without affection? We refrain from touch, we are satellites, da 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 da, in a cosmic dance amongst the northern lights, da 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 da. And we orbit fast, but I wish we could collide. Sick of concealing, I'm sick of the feeling, I no longer want to hide. Cause I think it could be love, cause I think it could be love. Can't show you enough, cause I can't show you. I wanna burn through the atmosphere, so like a meteor tonight. Now I may discuss whether I exist, and in the court they decide who I can kiss. Now I may discuss whether I exist, and in the court they decide who I can kiss. Cause I think it could be love, cause I think it could be love. Can't show you enough, no I can't show you. I wanna burn through the atmosphere, so like a meteor tonight. Cause I think it could be love. Whoa. Cause I think it could be love. Thank you.
You sound that good with a hangover. That's ridiculous.
Carry on drinking.
Trying.
Honestly, that was gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Right. I made notes this morning because I have so many things I want to ask you.
Oh,
Because we're
cool.
Shikari nerds, so we have notes.
Excellent.
Sorry. You're going to be a little bit fangirly nerdy here. So, one of my main questions for you, as I say, Enter Shikari, very much a unit, but band dynamics means that obviously a lot of things are going to head to you as frontman. Do you feel the weight of that? Do you feel that a lot of the time you're sort of made to carry things that in your heart you know is shared amongst the whole team? Do you feel that you're seen as the person that everyone should ask? And if so, are you happy with that?
I think, yeah, I feel that a little bit. I think for a lot of our career, we were very, very stern and serious in the fact that we always presented ourselves as four people. Like, we never did I never sort of asserted myself as the front man. But obviously, like just with the press and things, it's just easier to have one face sometimes. So I think in the last few years, I've been a bit more comfortable in doing that. I think like at the core, I'm like, attention is not something I strive really. I love being on stage, but it's very much like when I do like solo acoustic sets, I am shitting myself. I'm like so much more nervous when I don't have like the guys with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think naturally I sort of prefer being in a band, but at the same time, yeah, I've now kind of accepted that it's just easier sometimes to have one like mouthpiece for the band or whatever. Yeah.
So that brings me to another one. So I really have got notes. So one of the big challenges for musicians at this time, and I know this from talking to other patrons, is that obviously all the artists with loyal audiences are being approached about every cause under the sun and asking if you can support it. And one, we know it's really hard because obviously all the earnings you were going to have this year are completely out the window, and you're looking at a completely different model of what you as a band have for you and your team. So that's the first thing that we know, and we know that's really tough for a lot of musicians who are like, we really like that cause, but until we secure our own team, it's hard for us to go there, which obviously we accept. But then the second one is, how do you choose which causes to support? Because I know sometimes it's the sort of personal versus the professional, and is it all four of you that have to decide, or do you each get set? How does it work in a dynamic like Shikari?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a long question. Sorry.
How's your hangover?
Brain kicking into gear. I think a lot of it's surprising how much of it is kind of just down to the people and the connection with the people, because there are so many good causes. There's so many causes that we'd be more than happy to help promote and do what we can for. Often, a lot of the time, if we like just get on well with people and people are nice and we sort of click, then it sort of encourages you to keep on doing things with that charity or that organization or whatever. I mean, obviously at the moment it's kind of all focus on sort of supporting healthcare and key workers and everything, as that's sort of deemed the most important. But yeah, there's so many causes because so many companies and organizations are going to be struggling at the moment. So it's really really difficult to know who gets precedence. I don't know. We don't have a sort of an ethical guideline that we follow in how we choose, I suppose.
Well, no, I suppose it's got to be instinct largely, hasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
The event this weekend, that was a quite a personal connection for you guys, wasn't it? You've got friends and family in healthcare, and so that was one that seemed like a really natural fit I think for most of the bands that were involved, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know someone who's a nurse or a carer or a doctor or something, and we all have seen how much they're struggling. I mean, for us, it's been the NHS has been something that we've talked about in our music quite a lot, and it's just so frustrating to see that the years of austerity and the years of cuts and pay freezes and everything to NHS and NHS workers. It's just so frustrating to see the effect that it's had in how unprepared we were and everything. So yeah, it's obviously something that we jumped at really to do anything we could to support. Not that the NHS should need charity support.
No, you did give a very clear speech about
funded.
that. I have to say, I was very impressed by how you expressed that at the end of the festival last night, because it was spot on.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's a very frustrating time, but hopefully people will have a sort of renewed sense of appreciation for our healthcare service.
Should we have a second song?
Sure.
You got a second song in you? I don't know if you're going to do backing vocals as well on this one. That was quite impressive.
Yeah. I don't need the others.
He says in direct conflict with what he previously said.
Yeah, right. I was gonna do. I don't know. What should I do? I can do. I'll have to retune, but I could do Dreamers Hotel, which was the previous single from the album.
Excellent.
What tuning is it?
Oh, we had, by the way, everybody, while Rou was tuning up, we had a nerds conversation about the tuning of the guitar for the version of Live Outside last night. Don't worry, everybody, I've got it written down. I am prepared to sell it to you.
Yeah, this one is this one's C G C G B flat D.
Well, there you go then, obvious.
It's another one. It's another lovely one to noodle around on. Yeah.
Okay, what do you do?
I'll do the Dreamers Hotel. It's a very different version from the actual version. It's a kind of sort of, well, obviously it's down tempo because it's acoustic, but it's kind of an almost jazz, not really jazz. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You can decide for yourselves whatever this is.
Right.
Outrage. That's it, I'm going on a rampage. Don't waste my time with any context. I'm gonna ruin all your prospects. I'm gonna pick all your pockets. Fury. I am the judge and I'm the jury. It's doggy dog and I'm a pure breed. I'll work you up into a frenzy, but oh god, this baggage is heavy. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars, but arms are vacant. Meanwhile, I can hear alarm bells outside, they're losing their patience. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars, but all rooms are vacant. Meanwhile, I can hear alarm bells outside, they're losing their patience. Cheap shot. I am a tempest in a teapot. I am King Arthur in Camelot, connected to the hotspot for 8 days on the trot, fighting the trolls and the bots. Students, nuance ain't nothing but a nuisance. You're either good or you are evil. You play a prick and there's no sequel, and that's the will of the people. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars, but arms are vacant. Meanwhile, I can hear alarm bells outside, they're losing their patience. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars, but all rooms are vacant. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars and rose-colored windows. Meanwhile, back at the Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars and courtesy disco. Dreamers Hotel, 5 stars, but all rooms are vacant. Meanwhile, I can hear alarm bells outside, they're losing their patience. If love is blind, hatred is deaf, and well fed.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Just wow, mate. I mean,
That was
that was stunning.
fantastic. And
Oh, Glass.
You're right there. Do you need to clean up?
Sorry, no, just all my plates going overboard.
So that song has a lyric that I really like, which is The Tempest in the Teapot. But I want to ask my Shikari nerd question now.
We've all got some.
Which is, last album, Spark.
Yeah.
Ever since I first started listening to it, I really love Rabble Rouser, but I need to know who inspired the lyric, a face like a sack of screwdrivers. Because it's such an unlikely lyric and it's really bugging me.
I don't think it was based on anyone in particular, but you know when like someone's at a show and they're having such a good time and they're just like that sort of surge of adrenaline face, like because the whole song is basically about playing live and the connection and the intensity of it. So yes, that's this face like a sack of screwdrivers.
It's so brilliant.
Well, we got half the grassroots music venue sector of the UK is tuned into this, asking nerdy questions, which we can't possibly get through them all. But Luke says hi from the Horn in St Albans.
Hey.
Mark down in Brighton, huge round of applause. Loving this. I just keep using those two words on Elevenses. That's very nice of you to say, Mark. Sinead McGarry says, "What was that tuning again? I might have to have a noodle later."
Oh, you guitarists, honestly.
Honestly,
I like Sophia's one. This is nice to do yoga to.
Yeah, nice to do yoga.
Oh, lovely.
Well, you've been doing some meditation. I've been watching on your Twitter.
Yeah. Doing like live guided mindfulness meditation sessions. On my Instagram live. Just I think like it's because it's such a strange time with all of our kind of routines and our kind of normal life has just had this big upheaval. It's for a lot of people, I think it's very difficult on the mental health, and mindfulness meditation has been something that's helped me for about 6 years now, and I've learned so much about it. So it's been a lot of fun just doing those and trying to spread some of the knowledge that I've picked up about it. Yeah.
And then also your cat's now an internet superstar.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about pets in general because Rob's dog was also part of your set last night.
Yeah, how cute was that?
And then one of our daughters, Grace, was like, "Oh, I need to know what Rob's dog's called."
It's called TB.
TB, because your cat's Freya, is that right?
Yeah. Where is she? I don't know where she is at the moment. Yeah.
Because Grace says, "Can you ask Rou to kiss Freya on the head for me?"
I will gladly do that.
And our team, our core team, like Music Venue Trust, said, "We don't need to ask Rou to do something with grassroots music venues, but if Freya would do a stream, that'd be great." That would definitely be
funny. Every time now we've done like a live stream, or I'll do a live set and she's in it. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, move aside. We don't care about you. Freya stole the show," like, which is completely fair enough. Like,
But does she like the camera? Because cats normally just bugger off whenever anything's happening that you want them to do.
I think she's pretty nonchalant about most things that aren't food.
So yes, that was genuinely a fundraising idea. Was if you could just stream Freya for a while and ask people to donate, that would probably save.
Just follow her all day, Freycam.
Now, of course, personally, I'd rather listen to you than watch your cat, but we know you are inundated with requests. So, it was an alternative one.
Listen, mate, thank you for coming in. We must go back to work.
Yeah, no, all good. Thank you very much for having me. It's good to see you guys.
Really, really appreciate you dropping in and just keep what you're doing what you're doing. As we keep saying to everybody who comes online, listen, been absolutely marvelous, but I hope I never ever see you like this again.
Yeah. Although I'm sure we're going to be like this for a while.
I was going to say, I'm going to battle that with, if this does continue, obviously we would love to have you back because it's been really lovely having a chat.
Yeah,
absolutely. My pleasure.
Beautiful.
Fantastic this morning. Really, really good. Thank you so much, Rou.
All good. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Take care.
See you.
See you later. Bye.
Rou Reynolds, there you go.
And I got to ask all my nerdy questions.
We've got to do all our Shikari nerd questions. I chatted mainly about guitar strings and tuning up.
Well,
so
I
that
don't play the guitar, so I've got to have other questions.
Know your audience. They're all venue owners. Every single one of them's going, "What did he say about CG?" There we go. Right. So listen, thank you for dropping in. as you know, it all stays online for a little while. You can catch it at our YouTube, Music When You Trust. You can catch it on the Music When You Trust Facebook page. Yes, as everybody's saying, that was absolutely brilliant. So sick, says Tony down in Brighton. Big up Rou and the Horn, favourite local venue to independent format, says Jack Cox. That was great, says Jack Alexander. Hi, Sophia, that you were doing the yoga. Hi, Hayes. This is lovely. Thank you for doing this. You're very, very welcome. We'll be back at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning with our tea and another guest.
Oh, and well done, Shannon, for tuning in. I nearly told you who was coming on before, but I'm glad you got to it.
So everybody go off and have a great day. We'll see you here again tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock every day.
Who are we back with tomorrow? Oh, yes.
Yeah, good, another good one tomorrow.
More great music tomorrow.
More great music tomorrow. See you all then. Don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube and hit subscribe on Twitch TV. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.